This episode is brought to you by New Village Innovations. Say goodbye to the hassle of wired connections and embrace the convenience of wireless CarPlay with our CarPlay wireless dongle. Experience the full range of CarPlay features while maintaining seamless compatibility with your car's original functions, including navigation, music, playback, Siri assistance, and phone calls. U.S. veteran-owned and operated business. Let's go check this out.
All right, let's try this thing out. We only need two things. We need the actual dongle and then our phone. What we don't need anymore is this cable. It's a thing of the past. Included in the box, you have the device itself. You also have a USB charger and accessory cables. So if you have a USB-C that will also work with that, you have an adapter for it. This car is old enough that it has a traditional USB-A. We're gonna plug it in here. It's now powered up. Now we just need to come down and pair it to our device. And just like that, no cable connected. We are using the New Village Innovations, which again is veteran owned. We love that. And we have wireless CarPlay so we can listen to our favorite jams while on the road. Love that. Back to regular scheduled programming. Welcome back to Texas Start Channel. I'm Brian.
I'm Craig.
And boy, we've got something I haven't seen very much, but you have GX550, but it's the Overland, the one I care about. I'm sorry, not Overland. You keep saying it last time. Overtrail. We're idiots. Don't listen to us. This thing is sweet. It's the off-road flavor of the GX550, which is basically the nice Land Cruiser, but more importantly, the powertrain is, well, my preference. We'll talk about that in just a minute, but I want to get into the ABD before we get into anything else. Approach, breakover, departure, 26, 24 in the middle, 22 on departure. Those are really, really solid numbers. And yeah, we know this thing works off-road. We just know it's going to. One of my favorite things about this is it's not a plug-in hybrid. It's not a crossover. It's not a Lexus TX, which is a great family hauler. This is meant to do outdoorsy off-roady things with a premium label in front of it. It's awesome. The world needs this. It's kind of a modern LR3, where I think Land Rover has kind of forgotten its need for capability. This is picking up the slack. So let's talk about the nose. First of all, this is a prototype vehicle, and if you bring in here, Craig, you can show them. These plastics aren't finished. They're not textured, and they're probably 3D printed. We know the wiper cowl is, that kind of stuff. So don't take this for the final product. But the nose, I think, is very handsome. I want to get into that. You've got a 3-pack LED light in the middle, or on the sides like that, with a good LED hue underneath. It's kind of got an eyebrow. And then your front radar sensor is in the actual logo. I'm a big fan of that because you don't have some random square hanging out. Like our Tacoma has a square down here. This is integrated and looks pretty. The nose, it is plastic, at least in this prototype one. But as you get down, it becomes steel very, very quickly, which is the most important thing, I think. Let's check out wheels and tires. All right, before we get anything else, the Overtrail is taller than the standard or the premium or the luxury editions of this. Standard, it's 8.7 inches of ground clearance. This is 9 inches of ground clearance. Not bad, honestly. And the lowest point's a pumpkin anyways, most likely, so the body's up pretty high. Wheel and tire package. You can look at this tire, Craig, you see this? This tire's been used, buddy. This thing is, and I see sand in here. This is probably from Eagles Canyon, where we do our testing in DFW. I bet that's some Texas dust in there.
It's a prototype, but it doesn't mean it hasn't been used. Prototype
test vehicles, what it's been. This is a Toyo Open Country. This is the tire you will get when you buy it. And let's look at the size with the people, 285, 70, 18. I like that it's not a 19 or a 20 or 21. This is a real off-road tire package. This is gonna take you a lot of places. Coming down, Craig.
Run. What? You see what this is? Do you see that?
It's a step.
No, it's golden. That's golden.
Oh my gosh.
Yes,
oh
golden.
Yeah. Was it 112.2?
Yes.
112.2 inches is the golden ratio for Land Cruiser people. Whoop-de-doo. Anyways.
Whoa. It's for those that know, you know, and thank you for appreciating that.
For everyone else, I'm sorry Craig interrupted the show. No, that actually is a big deal. It means the breakover angle isn't insane. That's where the 24 degrees comes in. That's pretty good. Exterior-wise, big blocky side mirrors with a textured side, and you've got an LED built into it as well.
The theme is square.
I love that. In a world of round and bubbles, this is its own thing, and I really appreciate that. Up top, something I'm not too crazy about is the black painted roof. Okay, it's not plastic. I thought it was black plastic. It is actually painted material, so you can ceramic coat that and you'd be good to go. This one has the optional roof basket, which we had on a Sequoia recently on loan. It's surprisingly quiet. We don't like roof baskets that much because they are so noisy at Texas highway speeds, but this one's actually pretty manageable. And it looks the business here. I do like this step up here. It reminds me of, don't laugh at me, a Super Duty pickup from Ford. It has that dip down. It's a good theme though, I like it. Whereas the older LR3 that I think this reminds me of the most has a straight line. This gives you some depth to the field. Happy with that. Out of the back, you do have a fender flare. It's about 1 inch wide, and you can tell this one's 3D printed. It's got some scratches, it's been used. I'm okay with that. You'll have a textured version when it's a final production vehicle. No question about that. Come around the back. Oh man, I'm gonna leave this to Craig, the actual entry points, but I like the rear spoiler. I wanna point that out. You've got a shark fin up top, so you have no whip antenna going on. And then you've got your letters that are dimensional and they're chrome. They're not embossed, they're actually stuck on, but that's okay. It's a Lexus, it's gonna work. You do get this good lighting LED treatment across the middle. I blame Dodge for this. The Charger started doing this and connecting things. It's a good look though.
Blame them, I thank them.
Well, that's what I meant, sorry, I thank them. It's a good theme going on. Coming down, we have a cover for the hitch. This thing is good to tow. Are you ready? 9,000 pounds.
Wow, okay.
That's a lot.
It's a real truck.
It's a real truck. Well, and here's the deal. This platform, the TNGA-F, every rear-wheel drive based SUV truck from Lexus Toyota is this platform, including the Land Cruiser overseas, the 300 series.
And our Tacoma.
And our Tacoma that we just bought. It's a real deal. Fully box frame. It's quite incredible how much they've done with it. So I'm impressed with that. So this hitch is no joke. And down below, Craig, we've got our 4-flat and our 7-way that's been broken off from the trail already, which is super cool. This thing has so much credibility already. And you've got, what's that?
Full-size spare. Oh yeah.
And then a real tow hook. Very impressed with that. All that out of the way, we can't start it up and make sounds for you, but we can talk about the powertrain up front. All right, scratch that. We can't open the hood on this because, well, they've just closed it for the show, but I can tell you it's the twin turbo 3.4 liter V6 from the Tundra without the hybrid system, which is the way I would want something to be off-road and off the grid. It's just less complexity. 349 horsepower, 479 torque. That's a big number from a 3.4 liter V6. While we're here, let's check out the fuel door. It's steel. And it's taped off, so it might be capless for all we know. No, I'm kidding. It's definitely got a cap on it. That's okay. Let's check out the interior with Craig.
Time to check out the interior of the GX550 Overtrail, and there is a key difference. We'll get that in a second, but before we do, just like all the other GX550s we've seen, look at this. You get a split window. We have lost in the Land Cruiser world, we have lost the tailgate. That's fine because we've retained this split window that we had in the GX460, and I love that because you can actually reach stuff. It's easy access. It's actually not too high. A lot of these split windows are just kind of unusable. This one's usable. Love that a lot. Get it into the actual hatch. You do the full lift, and it's automatic, of course, or powered. And we get in here, and here's what's going to make this different compared to the other GX550s. Hard to tell with the lighting, but we're going to get a light in here as best we can. There is no third row seat back here because this particular trim is focused on off-roading. If you're going to go off-roading or overlanding, as they say, you're going to need a bunch of room for gear and all your supplies. You don't need a third row. You're not bringing 8 people with you. You're bringing 2 or 3 or maybe 4 and a bunch of gear, and that's what this allows. Interesting, you still have the cup holders back there. That could go away with a non-prototype. Interesting thing over here, because this is not the Hybrid Max and it's only the 3.4 V6 gasser, we don't get any extra wattage here. We get just a standard 400 watts that we kind of see in every vehicle. Kind of wish it had more there, especially for an overland vehicle, but I'd make the trade for the 3.4 twin turbo.
I prefer the non-hybrid, yeah.
Moving on to the interior, Brian, let's start with the door. Again, this is a prototype, so it could change a little bit, but even in the prototype, we have some really cool trims and colors. Love that a lot. As you're getting into the seat, Brian, I want you to check the back of the front. Look at that green, like suede material.
It's like a microfiber.
I don't know if that's going to end up in the final version. I'm sure it will. I love that. That green with this tan, beautiful color combo. Yeah, very nice.
Very nice.
We do get a center folding armrest with plenty of room for your bottles, and then USB-C, both spots. No USB-A. It's time to move on from the past. Mat pockets. And Brian, this seat actually does recline a little bit, which is nice, so I can actually get in a good position I want. It does not slide forward or aft. That is interesting. But let's check out see how they fold. All right, let's check out the folding capabilities of these, and they do flip all the way forward. Pretty interesting. Wow. You get plenty of room down here. And the reason they flip forward is so you can access the third row. Well, there's not a third row, so I'm interested to see if that changes in the final Overtrail. I don't know. Let's see.
I will say if you're going to do a sleeping situation here, you're going to need to build a deck system.
All right, now Brian, there's something else we have to check, and that is we have to check to see headroom because last time I was in one, you weren't with me at the Houston Auto Show. You're with me now. Let's check this bad boy out. Let's see what kind of headroom you have, because we do have a moonroof.
We do have a moonroof.
Which cuts in a little bit.
No problem.
Okay.
Hello, no problem. Now, there's definitely a motor here, I can tell, but they've tapered the roof down, and because it goes up in the back, well, I'm reclined a little bit too, but because it's a 2-row, you can do that. Oh, there's just no problem.
Yeah.
This is approved. Big deal.
All right, to the front.
To the front.
Moving on to the front, Brian, same deal. We get a nice usable door. That green theme continues in that little insert, padded insert. Very nice. Ooh. I love how that green touch is just kind of in there somewhere. Yeah, matches Brian's sweater today. Getting on in here. Ooh, they got the with the heater on. It's
Oh, really?
Nice. Very nice. In fact, I should probably turn that off.
On the left, there's a switch panel on Toyotas at least.
Yeah, not on this one.
Oh well, that's what it is.
Anyway, so here it
there
is.
we go.
Here we go. Okay, we'll turn that off. It's on auto. So
Oh,
it's,
okay.
Okay. Anyways, so Brian, let's see here. Let's just show the people what we've got, and we've got really nice gauges and setup. This thing's powered on, so we can actually see what's happening. I love that you have just. This is very similar, Brian, to our Tacoma. It almost feels like Toyota's learned a little bit. Instead of going to that center cluster, they're splitting it to two again because people like a speedometer and a tach. They want to see simple layouts, and they've gone back to a little more simplistic style, and I like that.
Well, they give you options because you can do both now. Whereas on Tundra, Sequoia, you're stuck with the middle.
Right, very good. Right. Yeah, good point. Start-stop button up here, and a nice big Toyota or Lexus infotainment, which works well and is just super intuitive and just works with everything. You do lose some HVAC hard keys. You still have the dials to actually adjust your temperature. That's nice. But you have lost the actual fan speed buttons, and I do miss that, but that's okay. We still have a Land Cruiser for that. Moving on down to all the kind of modes here. We can't access all of them right now because we're in an auto show, but you can. Very interesting right here. You have your multi-terrain select. You have your drive modes, crawl control, which we've found that on our hill test works really well. Toyota knows what they're doing.
Highly effective.
They're highly effective. You do have all-time all-wheel drive, which I kind of don't like, but that's just kind of where we're at. But you'll notice right here, there's a center diff lock. That's a Torsen center diff, and you can actually lock it. I like that a lot, which kind of does it anyways when you're going to 4 low, but whatever.
Yeah.
And then you also get an electronic rear locker, selectable rear locker. That's a big deal because you don't always get that in these, and it's nice to have that option. The other thing we get is the magical EKDSS. That's a kind of a, it's not a disconnecting sway bar, but it kind of gives you the functionality of that without having to disconnect anything.
Yeah.
Very good, interesting setup the way they've done that. Love that, and you'll see that on the Land Cruiser 300. This is the closest thing we're going to get to that here. With that, thanks for watching. We can't wait to get this up our hill test. We're going to stay tuned for that.
Very soon.
Be sure to like and subscribe. Let us know which version you would get.